What happened to the free lunch? You need some. Didn't appreciate the freedom of being young. Living out your parents' pocket, cause you know they got it. Never worry about the bills to pay. Damn, I need a rich girl. Don't ask me for nothing, cause I ain't got no money. Damn, I need a rich girl. She said all of my loving is all she want from me. Damn, I need a rich girl. Don't ask me for nothing, cause I ain't got no money. Damn, I need a rich girl. She said all of my loving.
Yes, so the Valenti Soundoff, welcome. We are excited to be back. I'm Ishma. This is Shali. We got a lot to talk about tonight, but I want to start off with something that is real important. And I think something that has been getting so much hate, so much talk. Everybody has an opinion. The Jay-Z deal, Jay-Z, Jigga Man, Hova, H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy. He said, if y'all want me to bring her back to the stage, I need y'all to say it with me. Say Hova. Okay, if you can't tell, right, I'm a Hova fan. When he came, real quick before we start talking about the deal, when he came, I've seen Jay-Z twice, right? And so I've seen him when he came to Lincoln, and it was a dope show. He was at the Pinnacle, and we did the pre-show over at Vega. It was Vega. It was dope. That was real ill. Shout out to Vega and all that. It's not there anymore. Oh yeah, now it's the Road Grove.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you know, shout out to my man Eli
Joe,
holds
right?
it down.
Yeah.
So, but the show when he did the Pinnacle, it was real dope because I was thinking, you know, what's the set list gonna look like? What's Hov gonna do? Is he gonna do just all of the super commercial stuff? He's gonna like what's he gonna come out with? And he comes out with that turn my music high, yeah. And he did that, you know, I mean, he comes out really spitting on that song. I mean, I'm from the hood, but you know, I mean, he really goes off.
Bars.
I mean, he really, and it's not that commercial thing. So he really came and he gave it. So there's so much, you know, stuff that you can run a slalom. I mean, he did his, so Hov, you know, like I said, I am a fan of the music and everything entrepreneurial wise that he's done. Then when I saw him in Minneapolis, me and my wife saw him at the, what was that, On the Run Tour 2? On the Run 2,
Yeah,
right? That tour. Oh, that thing was serious. It was a great show. And again, he played all the bangers that you wanted to hear, but he didn't just keep it commercial. So that's my props to Hope right quick. Everybody's gonna be like, well, now everything you says is gonna be right. It's gonna be
biased.
Well, I'll tell you this. Why does everybody have a problem with the deal that he just made with the NFL? What are some things that you see wrong with it?
I think people love to just feel like they should feel like I feel, right? And especially somebody that they idol so much. Jay-Z is such a figure in the Black community just because of where he's from, how many people relate to his type of situation. So they think that he is not only now on their side of the things is kind of what it kind of looks like. And then Kaepernick. Everybody's still bringing up
their
Kaepernick.
side? What do you mean when they're saying on their side? Whose side are you talking about?
What, the NFL and
okay, on the NFL side.
NFL side and everybody that is against the movement that was Kaepernick's whole deal about the whole injustice and things of that nature. Even though Hope's come out stating that's not the deal.
So Hope says, a lot of people I think had a problem when Hope said, we're past this. We're past the Kaepernick and having a job in the NFL or not. Do you think that we're past that? Or he said, you know, that wasn't the thing, was that Kaepernick's job. His job, what he was bringing awareness to was police brutality,
right?
Was police brutality and social injustice, right? So he's bringing this awareness to it. Did he do that?
He did do that, right?
And is the conversation being furthered right now by Jay-Z having a deal and having a seat at the table?
Jay-Z having a seat at the table just better assures us that things have to keep going. Things have to be moving in some type of direction, and you're hoping upwards, right? And anybody looking at Jay-Z has to see a successful entrepreneur when you are looking at all of his different business ventures and things of that nature, right? So if you're looking at that type of deal, you can only think that he is going to better.
So what about beyond business? What about like people say, oh yeah, well he's doing this just because he just wants the bag. He's just making a money move for him. He's just getting the bag. What about all of the things that he's done that haven't just been about him getting a bag? What about when he was bailing out people who were in Ferguson during those protests, people who were getting thrown in jail. He was bailing those people out. What about when he was bailing out the people in Baltimore? He does when he says, when the Twin Towers dropped, he was the first in line. When the Columbine things happened, all that catastrophe really kind of jump started a lot of these travesties of school shootings. When they did their concert in Colorado, he gave all the proceeds to Columbine High School and to the victims and to the survivors, who were victims as well of that incident. And so it was just right to, I think sometimes right now there's little kids in Niger and in another country in Africa, I can't remember, where right now they're drinking clean water because Ho went there with Rockefeller and built tunnels and ground wells and things like that so they can have running water to their different cities instead of walking miles and miles for fresh water. So it's hard for me to criticize what this man is doing because of his track record of what he has done and what those things become and what the fruition of those things become.
And continue to do them, right? Because that's what it comes down to. People just, like we said, people really just like to feel like you are understanding from their point of view. And so people just don't like, the people who are mad are people I think that are just not happy with the way he's delivered some of the content. Maybe those words are the ones that they did stick on. Like, we're past that.
We're past that.
They're not thinking about the whole conversation that what he was talking about. They just hear, we're past that. Past what? We're past no, look at it. It's worse than it's ever been. So
here's my question then. If you think that for people who are mad that Jay-Z is taking a check from the NFL, are you also mad at every other black player that's taking a check from the NFL?
Right.
Because still, what is it? 70% of the NFL is black or something like that, or is it more? I don't have the exact numbers on me, but it's a lot of the NFL is black,
predominantly black.
And so, are we mad at every NFL player that continues to take a check because Kaepernick isn't in the league?
Yeah.
Now, is it also true that Kaepernick had a couple potential deals on the table that he sidestepped because for whatever reason, I don't know, that's between that man and that man's money, that man's deal, that man's integrity, that man's goals in life, right? But there were good deals on the table from him, according to John Elway, according to another team as well, that I can't bring up right now, but there was another team as well that were interested in him, right?
So you can always listen to the talk and the chatter, you know what I mean? But like you said, at the end of the day, you who knows what those good deals were.
I don't know what the deals were, but
could have been trash deals.
But I did hear of a good deal. That buyout that he got, that settlement he got, right? I heard that was about 90 million good deals or something. And so once you take out the lawyer fees, that's a good payday. So, which I do believe. I believe that there was a conspiracy. Yeah, sure. If people get together and they say, we are not going to hire this person because this, that, and the other. Well, why? Because they're like, well, this is going to be a media storm for us. He's going to continue to bring awareness to this issue of social injustice and police brutality. And us as the NFL corporation, we are not promoting that. We're promoting football, people bashing their heads into each other, right? And making amazing athletic plays on top of that. But that's what, I mean, they're not promoting those other things. And so they're not, and so they conspired to not hire Kaepernick. That was true. They didn't want him on different teams. Now, there were certain teams that were giving him deals to maybe get on as a backup or maybe small level contracts or whatnot, however it is. But that was happening. He got paid.
We'll never know, right?
But he did get paid for it.
Paid
signed the non-disclosure. He got paid, went his way, got his money. And still, right now, do you think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, or do you think he's at least able to start on a quarterback on a team?
For sure, and that's probably
name a team that you think he can start on right now.
Jaguars.
All right, I'll go. The Colts. You go.
Oh, Colts. Yeah.
You go.
Definitely Vikings.
Okay, I'll go. The 49ers. Okay, you go.
Man goes in there. Well,
Are we
Chargers.
Done? Chargers. Okay, I'll go. Cardinals.
Yeah, so okay, so
I mean,
just named how many teams, but not only that, like we said, legitimate. Maybe he should be a starting quarterback.
Yeah,
he has to be.
See,
there's like 3 teams right now that could definitely give him a starting job.
I believe. I mean, really, with the Colts, with Andrew Luck hopping out, it makes no sense that he's not right now in any. But I get it, business-wise. The NFL is a corporation. People have stock in the corporate. It's a corporation.
That's what it comes down to. People have stock in things.
point blank, it's a corporation.
But while we were talking about all that, I was thinking about Eric Reed, right? Because he has a job.
He has have a job.
It's just not and he definitely is on the side that Kaepernick's on. He has voiced his opinion on that side. Check. So what is the difference between him and Kaepernick, right?
Or what's the difference between him and Jay-Z getting a check? So I wonder how much money that Jay-Z deal is. Do you know how much it's worth or reported?
I don't know. I know it's a
somebody please comment or tell us or something. What's the Jay-Z worth?
Let us know.
What's the contract that Jay-Z has compared with the contract that Eric Reed has, right? And
way more substantial.
And then I mean I'm not for sure like who's getting paid more from the NFL. They're both taking a check, and then Reed, he can kneel every game, right? He's not getting as much publicity as before or as Kaepernick. Jay-Z's going to control the halftime show. So if he wants Beyonce to come again, doing an homage to the Black Panthers and putting the things going formation. Yes. If he wants that, again, he has control over it. When he wants to push a social issue and say, let's make a commercial about police brutality, he can push that for the NFL. He can push those initiatives while he's at that seat of the table.
What about owning the team? That's been coming up.
I would
talking
love
a lot
to
about
see
owning
Hov
the
own a team. Now I wonder if he owns the team, can he still do those other things that he's in place of? I don't even know what his official title is. Do you know?
No.
Ownership to where we can make sure it's fair for everyone around the table. We have the best product when it comes to the entertainment and sports. We have the best talent. We have the best marketing ideas. I mean, really, when it comes down to the things, when it's talking about I talk about the demographic of Black America. It drives the whole pop culture in America, which then drives the pop culture of the world. And so it only makes sense for those people that are predominantly driving this market to own the market
to
as
do
well.
Those things, right? Yeah.
So no, I would love to see that. Just like I would love to see 5-star recruits going to HBCUs.
Yeah.
I would love to see people committing to Harris-Stowe State University. I would love to see people going to Tennessee State. I would love to see people going to.
Well, we talked about celebrities, sponsoring those HBCUs. So those are all different ventures that we think that are capable things, but and maybe have been talked about, but just haven't been done yet. What's stopping them from doing that?
So what's better to give it a start with Jay-Z owning a piece
something like
into the NFL, saying, "Look, I got a piece in the game now. I'm holding something up. I have,
I want to see him with a team. I want to see him owning a team, and then see what happens from there. Because that's what people want to see.
What team would you like to see him get?
The Panthers.
The Panthers, of course.
Yeah,
everyone wants to see him own the Panthers. I would love to see. I love Jesus, but really, I would love to see him. Remember, I love Tupac. Yeah. He's talking about, I want to see you deceased. I made love with your wife.
And not on those words.
No, I love Tupac. But literally, I really want to see him own either the Panthers. I would love to see him get into the Denver game. I would love to see him get into the LA game.
What about them boys?
Yeah, Jerry Jones ain't giving up nothing.
He got it. At some point in time, he's getting up there.
Hey. He's getting up there. This is true.
Can't live forever.
You cannot listen. But the Jaguars would make sense too.
Jags would be cool.
The Jaguars would make sense.
The Panthers, just the colors, the black, blue.
Yeah. Tampa Bay would make sense too, I guess.
Tampa, I like the Buccaneers.
Like all those nice weather places. I could see just it'd be. I think Jay-Z owning a team could turn it into kind of like how a boxing match is every time, where you got the who's who of who's coming, all the stars come in, sit in front row or sitting in the big boxes, watching this NFL game and really make it.
And that's what those events are for. That's what those games are for, right?
And
Bring
with
out.
the exclusivity of the NFL game, where you're only going to have 8 to 10 home games a season, right?
Oh,
I think
you could
that's
easily accomplish what you
that's
want with
huge.
that, especially with Jay
Yeah,
Z
that'd be
at the
huge.
production helm of it. You
I
know
would
what I
love
mean?
to see something like that. That'd be huge. Well, so Jay-Z having a seat at the table. There was a man who gave me the pleasure of a couple conversations, right? This is a big money maker, big money baller type dude.
Yeah.
And his money's real long, and he got it real long, he says, by consistently putting himself in a position to have a seat at the table. Now, he said, Ishma, I experienced times where there was some racism and some discrimination happening within the company. And this was a high level up company, one of the nationally known companies, a Fortune 500 Forbes list type company. And he said, instead of me going and shouting out, oh, hey, you're doing racist practices and you guys are being discriminatory and you guys must hate black people or you must hate these Hispanic folks. He said he just asked questions during that appropriate meeting. He asked questions. Then he asked questions again to the person that was over that certain department, right? And so by asking questions, the people had to answer the questions and unfold the injustice themselves. It had something to do with evaluations and raises. And so by doing that, he said that was a way that he was able to change the policy. They said, oh yeah, well, you know what? This is wrong. It does seem like this is happening where these certain folks are getting evaluations that look the same, but they're not getting the same raise. And so we're going to change the policy right now, and we're going to go back and give those people their raise from the months before or the years before that they deserve, and we're going to pay them out for that as well, and change our practices to make sure this doesn't happen anymore moving forward. And so by having that seat at the table, by then asking the questions and going about it in this strategic way, he was able to change the culture and change the policy of that company that was helping out those black folks, those other Hispanic folks, those minorities there. It was helping them out by not only fattening their pockets, getting their money back that they were owed, but then also for the other generations, for the other people that came now to this company, they were going to be playing on a more fair, even playing field. So I kind of see that story in that way of what Jay-Z's doing. He's getting to the table, finding a way to even it out a little bit more. He's going to ask the right questions. Strategically, he's going to infiltrate that thing, if you will, to where it's going to be a more level playing field for this phenomenal talent that's coming, right? That is the talent of the NFL, that are the people that we think should be maybe getting more money, or there should be better transparency for them, or whatever it may be, right? So I see it as a good move. I see it as a strategic move. It's a seat at the table.
That's the whole that thing comes down to it. It's something different. Some change that hasn't happened before, isn't in there right now. And he's definitely going to have a different point of view than everybody else that's sitting around that table right there. So
yeah,
we'll see how it all pans out. It's going to take a while anyway for everything to lay on out.
Yes.
But the way it came out, I think, was the most shocking for everything.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Hope Lot got me. Yeah, no, I think that press conference, it rubbed a few people the wrong way just from sound bites. People hear sound bites and they go crazy. They hear a 30-second sound bite, 15-second sound bite.
I don't know, just watching it myself, I just thought that it looked a little awkward.
Did it rub you the wrong way?
It was just weird. Just the whole setup, just the way it was, the way they were sitting close the chair. It was just weird. Around that table that the room that they were in, I just didn't see.
Sure.
Like that was the best that they was like, okay, that's what we're gonna do. That's how we're gonna tell y'all about this.
Hey, I appreciated what I think Jay-Z's done for the culture before and is gonna continue to do, I think. And time will tell. We'll see. Will he get Kaepernick involved? We'll see what the halftime show is gonna look like. We'll see what these visionary practices that he usually has, how they're going to be aimed towards this social justice and this police brutality issue that kickstarted this whole thing. Was Kaepernick wanting to bring light to those issues.
Right.
So hopefully Jay-Z can do that, really bring light to those issues
People
and
already
move the
expect him
needle.
to carry
and
that type
move
of
the
torch.
needle.
So
Let's see if he can
you
move
know.
the needle in that. And I believe there's somebody
Move
that
some
can
too.
do it. It's it's
Gotta be
Hov.
Hov.
Yeah, I believe it's Hov.
Yeah.
He can move the needle there. So time will
See what
tell.
Jacob
We'll
May comes
see.
up with though.
Now you know what else I heard a lot of crazy stuff about, right? Sticks and Stones.
Woo.
A lot of people talking about that Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle. So Dave Chappelle is just a funny guy all around.
That's a funny
He's a funny motherfucker.
But really,
it's a super controversial.
So you thought it was funny?
I thought it was funny, but also at the same time during watching it, me and my fiance, I was sitting there like,
watch it together?
Oh.
So do you think he went too far?
You know, he had those moments.
Did he go too far? Did you laugh at everything? Okay, first thing, did you laugh at everything, or were you ever like, I'm not laughing at this?
I laughed at laughed at most everything.
You laugh at everything. Don't lie to me.
You know, it's like one of those laughs, like you're like, oh dang,
but
why
you
take it there?
But you
You
laugh.
know what I mean? Yeah, I mean.
So did you laugh?
I didn't take anything the wrong way.
Okay. What do you mean didn't take it the wrong way? What do you mean?
Nothing offended me, but I could see why maybe it would offend somebody else.
Sure.
And he let you know that.
Yeah.
Right before the show, like, listen, I don't care.
He said, you clicked on my face.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you get. You clicked on my face.
Yeah, like, and he's always been about that. He's
Sure.
always let you know what his content is going to be like.
Yeah.
And look who he sells out to, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very eclectic group of people, I think there really is.
But he's even saying himself, though. He said, most of the people, he's like, if I didn't have any white folks out here buy my ticket.
Oh, well, definitely, because
I would not be selling out.
I mean, look, when he comes to Lincoln, Nebraska, it's a city of 300,000 people, and in Lincoln, it's 5% black folks. Mm. Who's going to be at his show if he's selling out the Rococo 4, 5, 6 nights in a row, right? Yeah. That's just a numbers game, and I'm sure that's like a lot of cities because of just America's demographics. Yeah. That being said, that was hilarious. I thought that he took things where comedians are allowed to take them. I think that's what being a comedian's about. That's what laughing about things are about. But at the same time, I think here's where it is. Dave Chappelle isn't a social worker. Mm-hmm. Dave Chappelle isn't a child care provider. Now, if you're a social worker, or if the child care provider is telling sticks and stones jokes, probably I may not drop my kid off with it.
Probably not the best thing you want to hear.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
But he's a comedian for a reason, that he's allowed to take things to funny, crazy plateaus because that's his art and that's what you signed up for. Yeah. You signed up for Dave Chappelle to take you on that funny thing. It's kind of like going to a Jim Carrey movie, right? And you're going to see slapstick comedy. Mm-hmm. He's going to make some really crazy faces and do some physical comedy. He's going to hurt himself in some way. And that's what you signed up for. If you didn't sign up for that, don't go watch Jim Carrey. Right. And I mean, that's how I feel when it comes to that type of art form.
I think he placed everything. Well, I know what I like to see the most. I like to see when they start the jokes at the very beginning and then they end with like the content back in there. The way that he places things back.
DJing, and I'm laughing because they were talking about, what was it? Anyways, so Groove Champ, DJ Groove Champ, that's what I DJ under there. Yeah, the homies was. There you go. The homies was shouting out Groove Champ, but you know I was playing Michael Jackson, and somebody was like, "Do you feel comfortable playing Michael Jackson?" Wow. Yeah, you know, because they were that HBO thing just came out, and so that was a big thing. And I'm like, you know, I have to be empathetic to people who do take this and say, oh, you know, they do really hold a lot of weight into that HBO special. Me, kind of being from the film side of things, I understand how you just, you know, like a Michael Moore type documentary and these type of documentaries, how you can just put together whatever you'd like. Yeah. And so me not being close enough to the Jackson compound to know anything that's really happening, right? Again, I have to just go off the record of what I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then when it comes to the music,
It's MJ.
it's MJ. It's MJ with the music. So that's another thing, right? Is it appropriate to play MJ music, you think, with accusations? If there's accusations, can you not play music? There was, by no court of law was he ever convicted of anything, ever actually
So
was
I got
acquitted
the
of the same
same
thing.
question
Yes.
about R. Kelly, right? Because
Yeah,
me
that's
and
what
Rod
he
had
said.
the
Sticks
same
and stones.
conversation, yeah, the other night.
Sticks and
Like,
Stones said it. What? So what's your question?
like, what?
Can you play R. Kelly?
Yeah. Do you?
So is he convicted in law? Or do you
No.
really? Do you personally think that he did this?
Oh, man.
Yes or no?
It looks super convincing.
Okay, so
yes.
are you saying yes?
Yes.
Okay, well then should you play R. Kelly?
Okay, so just went on a
For real though, that's my question.
Just went on a little trip.
Like how do you feel?
And R. Kelly was being played.
Where?
During,
Like in the
car? In the car, yep. And it was requested.
Would you? Oh, R. Kelly was requested.
It was requested, and,
like
my reaction at first was like, man. And those were my jams. But anybody who knows me knows I love those old school jams and stuff like that. But is it wrong? Like, do you feel wrong while that music's playing?
I'm saying it's so classic. But you believe that he did something wrong.
Oh yeah.
Now, can you enjoy his art? Yes or no?
No. I did
if you can't, but you did. She said no, but I did a little bit. Because
I still, you know what I mean? While it was on, you still slowly, you know.
Now.
But it's different with Michael Jackson because I don't feel the same way.
Well, here's it goes to me. Like, I, in no way, shape, or form, I do know that, say, a person like Thomas Jefferson was a child predator and a what we call a sociopath with the amount of people that he killed, and then but a child rapist, a pedophile, and I know that he held a 12-year-old, 13-year-old in a cellar-like room, right, and did these crazy things that you only see on the news, and you say, oh my God, these people are so crazy. And so, can I enjoy the Declaration of Independence? Right?
Yeah.
So, because no, I say no, you know, we need a new constitution. We need a new declaration. We need to find truths and better things, not from people like this. And so then, if I do believe that, right, I mean, should I also not find pleasure in the money that he's on? Or no, but seriously, then if I do believe that, if I do believe R. Kelly did that, then I can't, should you not enjoy that? Not enjoy the artwork. There's a lot of other artwork.
It's weird.
So I say there's a lot of other artwork. There's just a lot of other artwork. Yeah. It's the same thing where if I believe that somebody's
okay, well, it's just like Bill Cosby too. Like people watch Bill Cosby still, you know, boom, and you know he was convicted of all these horrible things.
Oh, he was convicted of one of the instances he was convicted of.
Yes, yes. And if you talk to people, they'll be like,
yeah, a lot of people say there's a lot of evidence, and then there's a lot of people that then the evidence of women who have said that, oh no, I did it for my memoirs and I didn't lie. I did
just recently those things have came out.
So there are a lot of things. Again, I'm not close enough to the Cosby compound to know.
All I know is the R. Kelly documentary was very, very convincing.
Here's the thing, I didn't watch it.
Okay, so not only that, when you think about back in the days when he had that child pornography thing going on, did you watch that sex tape?
No. See, I'm not close into those things.
None of those things.
And so, but here's the thing. I'm not saying, because I don't know either way, but there's a lot of mounting evidence against R. Kelly. Where it's Honey Love is a great R&B song. I'll tell you like this, there's a lot of other R&B I can enjoy. I can throw on Maxwell, I can throw on Genuine, I can throw on
but you ain't gonna get Honey Love.
But you know what I'm gonna get? I can get a lot of other great stuff that's just as good, just as fine. I'm not tripping. Sure. So here's my thing. If I believe that Michael Jackson was a person who was hurting children and doing those unthinkable acts to children, I wouldn't listen to his music anymore. I would skip through and I'd say, you know what? There's a lot of other music. I can listen to some Cody Chestnut. I can do a lot of other things.
MJ level.
Even on a Mike level of some of the greatest music ever, I would have to abandon if I channel 724. We need y'all to like, subscribe to the channel. You can see stuff like this all the time. We have some more awesome shows on the channel. Check out. There's a lot of other content. That's how much from Charlie. Go ahead and let us know what you want us to talk about next time. If you're mad at us for a little bit of talk about why you're mad. Talk about why you're mad. Comment why you're mad. And if you're mad for sticks and stones, click foundation. Peace.